go live and play intro.
We don't have an opening song, but we think that we need an opening song. So I sit down and wrote an opening song. Sort of. Load up a bowl or roll up a joint. It's time to tell me to get to the point. There's not many words that rhyme with joint. Writing songs is hard. So welcome to Gear Wizard TV. Say welcome to Gear Wizard TV. One more time, welcome to Gear Wizard TV. Fuck it, let's live up.
Like and subscribe. Please look.
All right. All jackhammer crews meet at their assigned manholes. First, we send in the flamethrowers, followed by the firemen, and a shotgun with each crew. Good evening, weirdos, and welcome. That is coffee in my beard. I am Jethro Bot. This is the Wizard, and you are watching Total Recall. You are not watching the Gear Wizard. You're watching Total Recall. Sorry.
No matter what you might think from that opening song.
We share a stage, so you know that's we do more than one show here, and yeah, we're not going to be. I mean, you know, we definitely are going to be discussing marijuana to some degree, so you know, it's not completely. We might rhyme a joint with something. I don't know. It really
There's not many words that rhyme with joint.
It just depends on your accent, but anyway, we've got our jackhammers, we've got our crews, and we have got a movie for you. And boy, this is a bit of an oddball. This is one of those social, like, you know, like phenomenons, you know, like just these, like a runaway hit that in its wake is difficult to explain. And we didn't even watch the runaway hit for tonight's episode. We watched the runaway hit's sequel, which was not a runaway hit. Yeah, it did not quite get, or even close to, or even half, or a quarter of the box office of its predecessor. But that's okay.
It did, however, get an Oscar nomination.
It did get an Oscar nomination. That's right. It didn't have Ernest Borgnine, but it had a lot more rats. We're talking about 1972's Ben, sequel to 1971's Willard. And I would imagine that a lot of folks today, they hear the word Willard in relation to a rat movie. They're thinking Crispin Glover. But it was Bruce Davidson, an Oscar-nominated actor, who portrayed Willard. And so he was first in the Rat Kingdom. But don't let me get carried away here talking about it, because this is your selection, Wizard. And I know that not only did you watch Ben with us, you also revisited Willard.
Well, I had to revisit Willard, yes.
Yeah, so I'm excited to hear about your experience. Well, first your memories. Like, really, what do you remember about Ben?
Well, the 70s were an era of animal movies,
Mm-hmm.
animals attacking specifically. You had your giant frog attack, which turned out to not be giant frogs, and it was a little disappointing. If anybody else saw frogs,
Mm-hmm.
you had your giant spiders, you had your giant ants,
Mm-hmm.
but the
You had
rats
you had giant rats too. This isn't the only
had
example.
giant rabbits, which
Giant,
might have been my
yes.
favorite. Night of the Lepus. I'm gonna pick that one time, even though it's kind of cheating,
Yeah.
because I have seen it recently. But no, Ben was. I didn't get to see it in the theaters because I was far too young. But as soon as it came up on the TV, it was a must watch.
Now you said too young, so this was really kind of considered a film for adults.
Yeah, I mean, I was 10 years old, and
Yeah.
my parents were not going to take me to see a giant rat movie.
Mm-hmm.
They put up with a lot from me, but my movie choices were not one of them. So now I had to wait for the TV, but I loved Willard. Of course, back then we didn't watch them over and over and over again. You know? I won't.
Yeah.
I'll spare you the rant about we had 3 channels and that's all we got. There were no VHS tapes, so you kind of had to hold it close to your heart and remember as much as you could. And Willard fascinated me. Seeing Ernest Borgnine die. So it was a pivotal moment for a young man, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm still a Ernest Borgnine fan, but I was certainly an Ernest Borgnine fan when I was a kid. He's the kind of celebrity you just like when you're a kid.
Yeah, you can't help it. He's big and gruff and funny. But no, I liked Willard because Willard also had a heart. It didn't have as much heart as Ben.
Right.
Willard has a heart because Willard's relationship with Socrates, the white rat, is very, very sweet until Willard basically lets him die. And the movie opens with Ben opens with Willard being killed. So if you haven't seen Willard, you're not going to miss out on anything. You're going to know what you need to know coming into Ben. How did we get here? We'll see.
Yes, their caretaker died. Yes. So, hey, Eraserhead, thanks for coming by. Good to see you.
Died's one way to say it.
Yeah.
But no, Ben really stuck with me because I'm not gonna lie, I cried. I cared about Ben. I cared somewhat less about that annoying kid, but I really cared about Ben.
He was the friend you'd been looking for.
He was.
Yeah.
The two of us need look no more.
Yeah.
We both found what we were looking for.
Well, I hadn't seen any of this stuff as a kid, but when I worked at a video store in the 90s, late 90s, I, having heard about Willard, interestingly enough, Willard wasn't just a runaway hit at the box office. It also was a frequent renter. And, on top of the 14 million, which is a lot in early 70s, number 8 for 1971 at the box office. 14 million for Willard. Also an additional 9 million revenue from renter. So it was also a big rental hit and stayed that way for a while. And just out of curiosity, I had watched both Willard and Ben. It's funny, like the two movies kind of were like mixed in my mind, even though they are quite different. They have similar tones and similar feels, but one of them is about a child. And so that's the one we watched. I sure hope there are no puppets, because rats, that's enough. Rats is enough. But yeah, all I really remembered about these movies is that they were kind of weird and kind of dry, and that I always was like, yeah, man, what was like this whole, you know, movies about wild animals phenomenon that was going on during the 70s. Watching these two films did not really help me answer it. And in case you're wondering, watching Grizzly or Day of the Animals, that is not really going to help you figure it out either.
Food of the Gods.
Yeah, Food of the Gods, probably not really, or Food of the Gods 2, not really going to shed any extra light on it at all. Frogs, if you watch Frogs or Slugs or Ants or Kingdom of the Ants, it's still probably not going to help. Because all of these movies, Squirm. Now, Squirm, I'm going to tell you, Squirm is an effective movie. Squirm's an effective one. Them is a difficult movie to watch simply because it's so dang loud. The noise they make. It's very unpleasant. All right. Well, let's go ahead and bring some folks out. I know someone is chomping at the bit here, so I'm going to go ahead and bring Adam out because, man, this guy apparently has opinions.
This guy?
About Ben. Had you seen either Willard or Ben when you were younger? Do you remember anything about him?
No, except I had not seen either movie, but I was very familiar with the lore of Willard somehow. I knew all about it. I don't know how. I was born in 70, so I knew about it growing up, but I had never watched Willard or Ben, and I have not watched the Willard remake either. And it's not because I have an aversion to rats, because I actually raised rats for a couple of years.
I bet it's Crispin Glover, isn't it? You have an aversion to Crispin? Yeah.
A little goes a long way.
Yeah.
I had his album. I don't hate him.
Yeah. He did a version of Ben. I haven't heard that, but...
yeah. Do you want to hear my version of Ben?
Oh, my God, so much.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Ben, I hear you calling, but I can't come home right now. Myself, I'm playing all alone in the garage somehow.
That's a copyright strike.
Yeah, we're out.
Sorry.
Bye.
I just want to apologize to BLM. No, not BLM. Who is it?
Not the BLM.
Not the BLM.
Sorry, I still had my Echo plug-in from the karaoke stream on Stupenzo. Rather than talk about Ben, our good friend Stupenzo just hit 500 subs, so we a wickedly drunk karaoke stream the other night.
Congrats, Enzo. Congrats.
Yeah, so he's now eligible to be told why he's not eligible for monetization.
I'm pretty sure he already knows why.
Yeah. We're friends. I've told him about YouTube.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough. Moving on.
Okay. Yeah.
Any
all right.
girls backstage?
Yeah, I was gonna say let's break up the sausage party here a little bit and bring out Barbara. I guess I always bring out you guys in tandem. So
we're a team.
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, Barbara. How's it going?
It's great. Unlike this movie.
Oh boy, we got opinions. We got them.
I'm sorry.
No. I tell you what, if I was Ben right now, I'd be putting a helmet on. I think he's about to get it.
Ben himself is fine.
Yeah.
This film, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Well, did you remember the Willard Ben phenomenon at all, or is that?
No, I knew the phenomenon. I'd never watched either movie. I get it. There are people like my husband who raised rats, who liked rats, who had them as pets. But any aversion to rats, I don't care for them. And I get it. There's a difference between a pet rat and the sewer rat, but they're still rats.
Yeah. I mean, rats.
I will take a rat over a snake.
Rats will carry pestilence and disease.
Yes.
And
Just
they
like people.
Yes, and they will do things that are bad for you. So I do think that there's probably some manner of kind of on a molecular level aversion to rats. Same with bugs. I think certain bugs. It's just like the smell of a skunk. Or the smell of decaying flesh. Like we
anything
know that,
in mass, anything in a plague form is kind of spooky.
Yeah,
kind of spooky.
Yeah.
You don't want to see a million.
But it wasn't just like the plethora of rats, or even Ben himself. I thought Ben was fine.
I thought he was very handsome.
But
yeah, he's cute.
Yeah. But boy, that kid. Wow.
He's something else, isn't he? He sings, he dances, and for the love of God, I sure hope he doesn't have puppets.
And
please tell me he doesn't have puppets.
Dollar Store Anakin? Yeah, I have words about him too.
And we both, Adam and I both had the discussion that Joe Campanella just sort of sprang forth into the earth as a jaded 62-year-old.
Yes.
And that was it.
Joe Campanella was born 2 days from retirement. Came out of the womb fully formed. He's never been young.
Well, Ernest Borgnine was in the first one, but they killed his character off, so they couldn't bring him back. So they needed another.
I don't think this movie could have afforded Borgnine.
Yeah. On that note, budget for this film and budget for Willard, I could not find that information. So I really don't even know how much this costs. But this was not the hit that Willard was. Willard, by the way, was a hit with audiences, but not with critics, believe it or not. One of the critics of Willard was like, well, sure, rats are scary when you put hundreds of them in front of you. Anything is scary in mass, like bishops, and I thought to myself, well, yes, if 100 bishops were chasing me, I'd be scared.
That's terrifying.
That sounds scary to me. Okay. All right. Well, let's go
Catholics in any form.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and bring out the bride of Pumpkinhead, because we're all having fun with our names today. Whee!
Hello.
Hi.
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 So tell us, Bride, were you at all aware of the Willard or Ben, the Willard and Ben phenomenon, the kind of like popularity surrounding these films?
No, I had a vague awareness that Willard was a thing. Not growing up, like as an adult, but I'd never seen it. And Ben has never been on my radar until the Wizard put it on there.
So we learned. So you still haven't seen Willard, the first movie?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know how it ends. Sorry.
I'm good with it. The rats live.
Any chance you saw the Crispin Glover Willard?
I feel like I would have remembered if I had.
Yeah.
Do you
saw
remember
it with Crispin Glover?
You saw it with Crispin Glover?
Yes.
Wow, there's a story.
Did he do Q&A and stuff?
Not much. He didn't. Yeah, it was just like a brief little intro, I think, and a short talk.
Oh, I thought you meant like you guys were on a date.
Oh, no.
I'm going to imagine that's what was going on.
Yeah, my headcanon is going to be my choice.
That
Mhm.
They
that would
sang Ben to each other.
that would
Mhm.
be so surreal and probably highly uncomfortable. And I'm a
Pumpkinhead.
fan.
Pumpkinhead. Have you heard Crispin Glover's album where he does a little song about rat catching?
No, although I was also at a screening where he was present and he did some singing.
I have a copy of Rat Catching.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Studies in rat catching for the use of schools. Chapter 1.
I have Rat Catching and Oak Mott and one other one I can't remember.
Neat. Yeah, I've been to Crispin Glover screenings of his films. What is it? And is it? It is fine. A couple times. So he's always really entertaining. He writes poetry and well, he doesn't like he turns books into poems, by altering them. I don't know. It's a neat racket. What
He's a
going on.
fascinating man.
He is.
Anybody that gets banned off of Letterman is okay in my book.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you watch that legacy, like Letterman really took that personally. And it wasn't like he was banned. He actually brought him back just to make fun of him. And he has several appearances after the Ruben and Ed one where he's just, I think Crispin is trying to like fix things, and fail. But then, yeah, Letterman is just there to really give him a hard time. All right, well, let's bring out Gravy. Gravy is in the house. He's got a special avatar for us tonight.
Pew, 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 pew.
That's nice.
Yeah. Hi, everybody.
Whoop whoop.
Hey,
Oh,
Gravy.
yeah.
So,
How's it going?
Pretty good. All things considered. Yeah, we're all here. We're all still watching movies. So that's great.
Oh, yeah.
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 I know that I don't believe that you watched these movies with me. I almost feel
No.
like I just rented them for one night. That a lot of times when I was at the movie store, I was working third shift, so I'd come home and watch a movie before falling asleep. At like 5-6 a.m. So
Right.
that
No,
might have been how I experienced these films.
Yeah, I have not seen. I still have not seen the original Willard. And so this was the first time I've seen Ben. And the only real familiarity I have with these movies was I've seen a few parts of the Crispin Glover film. I think like channel surfing kind of thing, and probably watched some of it. Didn't really get into it. Knew it was a remake though. I knew there was an original Willard, so I didn't really know about Ben until this happened. I wasn't aware of that. I just knew there was two Willards.
Had you heard the song?
No.
I don't believe so.
I thought I knew the song, but no, I was mistaken.
Yeah. Well, Michael Jackson loved the song for this movie. It was one of his favorites of his career.
Well, it's a pretty good song. I mean,
Yeah.
I liked it.
The two
I
of
agree.
us need look no more.
I agree. All right. Well, let's go ahead and bring out Ben, our movie for tonight. Thank you, Cinerama Releasing. This movie was produced by the same gentleman who produced Willard. And the company that put it out, same company that put out Willard, used to be the Bing Crosby company, BCP there. That's but you see it's a Cox Broadcasting subsidiary now. They purchased BCP, and Bing Crosby was no longer involved with it when they were making movies like Willard and Ben. So
I believe the story is he had a premonition that this movie would be made, and he wanted absolutely nothing to do with it.
I know when I looked up research and I saw Bing Crosby Productions, I
Yes.
was like, what?
right, yeah,
And so we are in fact opening with the end of Willard.
Mhm.
This being Willard, that being Ben.
Is this the same footage from Willard?
Oh yeah,
Or
it's the
is this a
exact same
reshoot?
footage.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, they just re-edited.
Yep, that's a young Bruce Davidson, all right, or Davison.
And then we have Meredith Baxter before she hyphenated her Bernie.
But after Ben takes it upon himself to order the rats to kill Ernest Borgnine.
There is Mo DeCesso. What a shame he has to share his screen title with the puppeteer, the marionette sculptor. But Mo DeCesso, very popular, successful, prolific Hollywood animal trainer and animal provider for film and TV for decades. Got his start with ravens. He trained the raven for The Raven, starring Vincent Price. That particular raven, named Jim Jr., has over 125 screen credits.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was quite the raven.
That's so raven.
Yeah. You beat me.
Gotta be quick.
Kaboom. Yeah. See, you're too busy smoking weed, wizard. Not gonna get your jokes in.
It's what I do.
Yeah, but he's high and I'm not. So who's winning, really?
I don't know what to say.
Nobody's going to get in the. And when he retired, he said, "Nevermore."
Babs, are you single?
Yeah.
Woo.
No, I'm married.
Yeah. And what else did Mo did he worked on Lassie, but he didn't train Lassie. He trained a raccoon that was friend to Lassie for a couple episodes.
That's a lot more impressive than training a collie. Collies are smart.
Right? Yeah, collies are smart.
Raccoons raccoons are smart too, but it's got to be a bigger challenge to train one.
But they have their own agenda. That's the thing. Dogs just want to please you. Raccoons.
Is it really? Is it really, Bride? Is it really Zorro?
That's what I heard.
That is brilliant.
Isn't that adorable?
I love that.
Yeah. Zorro the raccoon. Yep.
All right. So now this is the first of 18 or 19 scenes of the whole town standing around watching crime scenes. Do these people not have crossword puzzles to do? I don't understand this.
Like they get a lot of mileage out of a lot of various shots in this film. Like you see a lot of like, oh, let's throw those frames back in there again. Those were
It's evidently a very boring town. So when anything at all interesting,
okay, and I would buy that, except that very soon it's explained that they're in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
right.
Like Wilshire and 4th, which is like downtown.
Yeah,
and
for real. That's where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, all the street names that they give are like major intersections in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So this is not a small town. These people have nothing going on.
Yeah, this movie was shot in a historical mansion used for several movies, including Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, and
yes, I was going to say that. You beat me to it.
Oh, sorry, and I can't remember like. They're not moving into this house, right? Like, why does the movie use the same house twice?
I don't know.
Do they explain that at all, Wizard? Or
it was cheaper than Ernest Borgnine, apparently.
I don't know. I thought that was funny. They just use the same house. Like the boy doesn't live in the same house as Willard. They just got the same floor plan from 100 years ago.
Also, I did notice that in the beginning, the mom says it's a long walk home. He's like, it's only 2 blocks, 3 blocks. And then and another shot shows her living like across the street.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like,
the blocking is particularly terrible in this movie. There are a lot of scenes that look like they were shot like months apart from each other because they don't match up at all.
I think I'm going to level this one out. I mean, I'm just going to say it right. Anything in this movie that isn't directly related to shots with a bunch of rats in it or close-ups of Ben is not good. Period.
Correct.
Sorry.
Yes.
Correct.
Sorry, not sorry.
Especially this
Ouch.
Mark Twain reporter guy.
Oh,
This
it's
guy-
awful, dude. Yeah, I know.
Nothing
Give me a
that
fucking
comes
break.
out of his mouth makes any sense or furthers the story at all.
Now, I
Yeah.
will say that in this scene, the best part of this scene, of course, is like the close-ups of Ben and the little shots of the rats like hiding in the walls. Like that's intriguing. Everything else that's going on, meh.
Agreed.
Yeah. Five different rats portray Ben himself.
Really?
Yeah, they had 5 special rats just for Ben, and that's like 5 out of the purported 400 for this movie.
That sounds about right.
But Mo DeCesso, I guess, probably being a bit of a showman, would brag that he trained 5,000 rats for this movie.
Sure.
And they, while they were making this movie, they were talking about how they were going to make a 3rd film with even more rats. So I think like all 3 of these films were probably supposed to be based around Ben himself, but they didn't get to make that 3rd one. This film was a flop.
No.
I'm so shocked. Color me surprised. I
And
was
even
five
though
when
it,
it came out.
Mhm.
I was 5 when this came out. So I didn't know. I certainly didn't go see it at the time. Obviously, I was 5. But boy, Ben got a lot of airplay. I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the song was huge.
Yeah.
It was Michael Jackson's first solo #1 hit.
Wow.
He was
Wow.
14 years old. He
Yep.
performed it. He performed it at the Academy Awards because it got a nomination for Best Song. And that performance is available on YouTube. I highly recommend you go and see 14, 15-year-old Michael Jackson perform Ben on the Academy Awards live television nationwide. It is really something else.
I would rather watch outtakes of Zorro the Raccoon.
I hope you can find those.
Please
Oh,
share them if you do. I want to see this.
I'll
Yeah,
find-
yeah, I would love to see those myself.
Zorro's been drinking and he keeps punching the dog.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I want to see a raccoon punching a dog.
Mo DeCesso trained the dog from Annie's dog.
Oh, Sandy.
Sandy. Yeah, he trained Sandy. So he did train some dogs. He trained the devil dogs from hell.
Sandy is no mooch.
No,
Sandy's cute. That's a
Yeah.
cute movie dog, Sandy. Yeah, that's a good one.
that is a movie I've often wondered if it's actually good, because when I was a kid, I remember it as being good.
No, I watched it a couple of years ago because they were doing a production of Annie at my kid's school.
So you watched the movie?
Yeah, so we watched the movie, and yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, cool.
Never seen it.
It's Telly Savalas, right?
No,
Oh,
it's
not in the movie,
Albert
no.
Finney. It's
Yeah.
Albert Finney.
All right.
Albert Finney.
Let's all go to
When
the
I was a
movies.
kid,
Yeah, he's pretty funny.
yeah. When I was a kid, every bald person was Telly Savalas. I was like, why does Superman hate Telly Savalas?
You could call me Telly Savalas. I don't mind.
Or Dom DeLuise.
Did you know, fun fact, trivia here, Telly Savalas was Jennifer Aniston's godfather.
I did know that.
Whoa. I did not.
That'd be a good Godfather. I bet Tully Savalas is a badass Godfather.
Absolutely.
Who loves you, baby?
Yeah.
He was a
so-
weirdo, man.
So
He
here
was a
we're getting into one of the first like sort of fundamental problems with this movie is that it's hard to believe that a handful of rats can overpower a cop. It's just a bit much suspension of disbelief considering they haven't earned anything yet. But yeah, if you just sort of hold them up to your throat and go, ah, then you're overwhelmed by rats.
Yeah, it is kind of like remember what's that one Ed Wood movie
Oh, the octopus motor.
Yeah. Where the guy's like literally picking up the tentacles of the octopus and laying them on himself. It's
Yeah,
Looks like he's
same
killing you.
kind of effect.
yeah.
It's not that severe, but it's
Yeah.
kind of I get what you're getting
did-
at. Yeah.
I did bring up the octopus motor while we were watching this last night.
It's hundreds of rats.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't have as big of an issue with that. Like I mean seriously, if 30 rats were crawling all over me and biting me, like that would suck. I'd be
All you have
my
to do
God.
is
know
run.
what to do. Yeah, that'd be terrible.
All you have to do is run, and then you can remove the rats at your leisure.
I have a much bigger issue with the god awful freaking lighting that is in
Yes.
every
Oh,
single
yeah.
shot and piece of celluloid in this film.
Nobody's
It's like
flashlight
the
work.
worst, man.
Yeah, nobody
they-
flashlight in this movie actually projects any light.
Were they
I have a
saving
problem
money? What was going on?
Right.
Like,
It's
why is it
awful.
like
It's, like,
that?
Atrocious, and it's every single goddamn scene.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
they're
first
shooting-
20 or 30 minutes takes place in the dark, and no flashlights, no nothing.
They're shooting night for night, or
Mhm.
night for day.
The Roger Corman way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I got issues.
I do wish we had some budget info on these two films because
I would love to know the budget for this
you know,
because
like Willard was a runaway hit. It was big stuff, and they made this movie like immediately.
This-
Immediately after Willard.
this is a feature film that looks worse than one single episode of The Love Boat. I don't understand where the
as
money
far
is.
as lighting, yeah.
I don't think they put much into it. I think
Yeah.
this is definitely like a fire sale kind of thing. Like, look,
Mhm.
we just had a surprise hit. We're going to take a little portion of money. We're going to cobble together a sequel and see if we can make a little bit of extra scratch.
There's Meredith Baxter, Susan Day.
That's my guess anyway. I don't know.
No, I mean, if they spent any money, it didn't make it to the screen
Mhm.
in any
Well, this
way that
kid's
you would.
talent is priceless. I mean, I hope it all went to him.
They spent it all on the song, not the Ben song,
Yeah.
Oh.
but the song with the puppets.
Every
They're puppets.
character, whether they're
Start today.
a live character or puppet in this movie, is irritating.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. The kid is irritating. The mother is irritating. The sister is irritating. Her boyfriend is irritating. He doesn't even have a line.
The kid, what's the kid's name? Harry? Is it what's his
Danny.
name? Danny.
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 The
Danny.
kid, yeah. The kid, Danny, like he is annoying at times, but he's also like impossibly cute sometimes.
No,
and
he's-
I kind of
And he's
started.
dying.
Yeah, and he's dying. By the way, he's going to die.
Did they
Yeah, I
ever
think-
say what he was dying of?
he had a
Heart
heart problem, but it's
Heart
never
condition,
explained
yeah.
properly at the beginning. You just
Oh man!
yeah.
Look,
It's
I'm not going to lie here. I have a real
Heart problem.
issue with the ambiguous illness.
yeah, I do
Yeah.
too. I do too. And not only that, but his character pulls out the sick kid card at least 2 or 3 times in this to get out of trouble.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Fuck yeah.
I
Who
wouldn't blame
among
him
us
for that.
wouldn't?
Well,
It's-
that part's realistic.
Does not create empathy.
Yeah.
You kind of want him to get it from the rats.
Like I did that at 16.
Don't let him die on chemo, rats. Just eat him now. Give
Yeah,
him
but
a hero's
yeah.
death.
Wouldn't it be a funny twist if it was like bubonic plague? Like, we finally discovered what's killing Danny. It's the
It's
plague.
the plague.
It's the one isolated case of it. No
So
one
this-
else is getting it.
The mother here looks like dollar store Julia Roberts. She has a horrible face.
I
I'm just
thought
gonna
you-
say it.
Damn, that's rough.
Terrible.
You're
I
not
thought
wrong.
you looked like Willem Dafoe in drag.
A little bit. Doesn't have the
Jeez.
teeth, but yeah,
Yeah.
she could. And for some reason, this kid gets his own 4-car garage to
He gets
play in
everything. Yeah.
because
He's like,
he's sick.
yeah.
Because he's dying.
Yeah, he is dying.
You know,
I guess.
lots of kids
Some
are born with
ambiguous disease.
yeah, lots of kids are born with like, heart issues, and they're poor. Like where's their
Yeah.
movie?
Right.
Like this kid's
Yep.
filthy fucking rich. Like he has a special you saw the opening credits, his own marionette sculptor. You know, like that's
And
insane.
the marionettes are never explained. You never see the kid
Mhm.
making them. You never get a throwaway line about his father was a puppet maker or anything like that. It's all just right there.
It's just what he does because he's lonely, and apparently having friends would be tough on his heart. I don't really.
Sure. So they gave him a harmonica.
Like you do.
Just let that sink in.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, then you got Ben.
Mm-hmm.
Start the day.
Oh God.
You've been asleep.
Yeah, I know this is
too
hideous.
long. I hate this fucking song.
Yeah, he's doing this, and you can't help but think to yourself, like, what the fuck
Yeah.
is this kid doing? You know, like
He does this every day. He goes to his garage and he sings the "Start the Day" song. Start the day. How's it go? How does it go, Wizard?
You've been asleep too long. Start the day and sing a happy song. That's all I remember until he rewrites it for Ben.
Yeah, yeah. He writes
we'll
a new
save
version.
that for
a new version for Ben.
We'll save that for when he does the Ben puppet show.
If they gave him like a big mirror that like he was performing the puppets and he was looking at the mirror like the show was entertaining him, that might sell a little better. But he's just standing behind that doing the puppets and he can't even see his own show. It's just nuts.
Yeah, yeah. Or if he was filming the show, you know, like what if he had a video
little Super 8 camera? Or
yeah,
whatever.
a little Super 8 or something, you know, anything other than just like he puts on a puppet show for no one every day, you know, that's sad. That's really sad.
And it's clear he has.
You want to
no
know how
friends.
sad it is?
Mm-hmm.
He has to make friends with the fucking rat.
He makes friends with the
That's
rat.
how sad this kid's life is.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't make friends with his family.
He has strain.
Mm-hmm.
See, Ben's a good-looking guy.
Yeah, I really Ben's adorable. Look at him.
Don't fall for a spell. That's how he gets you. Don't look in his eyes.
Hey, Danny, does this smell like chloroform to you?
He's kind of like the Ted Bundy of the rat world. Yeah.
No, he only kills for revenge.
Yeah, I know. Like he just wants
or food.
Well, yeah.
Or
What
food.
happens?
Or
What
for
happens
fun.
in this?
What did this truck driver do to deserve anything?
Yeah,
Okay, well, he was hungry. He's got kids. Thousands and thousands of kids.
Well,
sure, we all do.
Yeah. Well, could have happened to a more adorable truck driver. I mean, look at this guy. Oh.
That is one of the few good blocking moments in this movie is where the truck driver reaches back behind him for a sandwich out of the little cubby and he comes back with a rat. That's pretty good.
With rats, yeah.
See, they took the rat sandwich.
But then he hits a car, it explodes into flames, and the guy is fine.
Well, he's not fine. Look at him.
Anyone.
No, he walks it off. He doesn't even get
Only
any
the
injuries.
driver of the other car.
Right. There's no other driver.
Oh, there was no one in that car.
Yeah.
By the way, the guy that plays the reporter was also the chaplain in the Poseidon Adventure.
Was he any better in that? Because he's awful here.
Well, I mean, he's not in it long because, you know, we're going to stay here. We're not going to go with y'all.
And
right,
chiseled,
yeah,
handsome guy. Chiseled, handsome guy. His only job in this movie is to hand Joe Campanella cigarettes.
Which
like,
he
that's
breaks.
It.
He
Yeah.
doesn't even smoke them. He just breaks
I
them.
know. What is that? Like, they're just saying like,
Codependence on a new level. It's something very bad.
He's so concerned about the rats he can't even smoke. He's like, just can't do it.
Oh, okay. So Barbara discovered this actor
Mm-hmm.
is actually the DP on the Ed Wood movie with Johnny Depp. He plays the cameraman. Yeah.
Yeah, he plays the cameraman.
He's the guy that's colorblind. He's like,
Oh,
Which dress do you like better, the red one or the green one? He's like, I don't know. I'm colorblind. I like the dark gray one.
awesome. Well, good for him.
Yeah, it was really bugging me. I'm like, where do I know him from?
Yeah, as soon as she
That's a
mentioned
good
it,
eye.
yeah, I know that guy too.
That's a good eye right there. I would never have picked that up. I don't know any of these people.
His voice gives it away.
Yeah.
More than his face, because Ed Wood was 30 years after this.
Yeah.
I hate the mom. I really do. I don't like to rag on people's appearances that much, but none of these people are passing the headshots if I'm directing. None of them.
What
Meredith
would we
Baxter's
do,
okay.
baby?
Meredith Baxter's
realistic, maybe. Yeah.
Well, if we're going for realism, you're going to need a new script.
Yeah, I didn't care for the mom either. Not on a looks scale, but
or expression or talent.
She was just God.
She's got like that anemone face that's just working way too hard.
She was so ineffectual at damn near everything, and I don't know. I kept waiting for her to be killed off by rats, you know, and nope.
Well, this movie gets you rooting for the rats pretty quick.
Oh yeah.
This whole town is pretty deplorable.
Well, I mean, is it really okay for them to just storm a grocery store and like destroy it? You know,
They're
like
hungry.
this. But this is all kind of Ben's fault. Like rats aren't supposed to be like in this giant community mob thing.
Is it Ben's fault or is it Willard's fault? He's the one who trained him.
I blame society.
No, you're right. It is Willard's fault, and Willard died. So I guess we just have no one to hate in this film except for this poor little kid.
Except for everyone.
Except for everyone. All the humans.
That cop.
Yeah.
I hate that cop.
Yep. I hate them all. And I'll stand up for Joe Campanella. I would, but not tonight, folks. Not tonight.
In fact,
Ben is just doing the best he can, man. He's been betrayed.
His dad died. He's left with a heart condition.
Yeah.
I mean, we assume the dad died. That's the kid.
Oh, you're talking about
That's
Danny,
true. Yeah.
If I was him, I would have gone to the store for a pack of rats and never came back.
Oh. What are those puppets? I'm out of here.
You're no son of mine.
That boy ain't right.
Dad's never been in his life. His mom had an affair with a puppeteer.
Yeah.
At the circus.
Oh. That's how they got that big house.
And here he is sharing
Puppeteer
the song.
money. Yeah.
He's already writing a song for his friend Ben, and here he is singing it. And
he's singing it as he's writing it.
Yeah.
He's also like an accomplished lyricist.
He's amazing.
It's singing like harmonica, best thing for a heart condition.
Yeah. Although I do have to say the lyrics for Ben are not the song's strong point. You know, it's a very catchy song, but the lyrics are, I don't know, a little generic. Although it is interesting that like it's a #1 hit. You know, it was a #1 pop single, and it's a ballad that, you know, a boy is singing to, well, in the movie a rat, but, you know, outside of the film's context, he's just singing to a friend how much he loves his friend. And I don't know, that's just kind of interesting that
it's nice.
That's a pop single, you know. You don't see that too often.
America was like, we need this.
It was a different time, you understand.
Yes. We all wanted to buy the world a Coke, you know, and
he was the
company.
Danny turned out to be the cute guy in the TV or the movie Girls Just Want to Have Fun with Sarah Jessica Parker.
Really?
Yeah, I just looked it up. I was like, Did this guy do anything else? Yeah, he did actually.
He was also in Burnt Offerings with Karen.
Yep. Yep.
He was a excuse me, fairly prolific child actor, right? Like he got a lot of kid
He
gigs.
worked. I mean, his according to IMDb, his last gig for acting was back in 1987.
Okay, yeah,
I could see him in commercials for sure.
yeah. And he was. What was that?
My
That's
cat.
our boy.
Your cat just said hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Wow.
What you doing,
Of
big
course,
boy?
the cat has an opinion about Ben.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
As you
He
probably
has-
mentioned.
He has
Yeah.
opinions about a lot of rats.
Yes,
This-
exactly.
This is a fun scene, you know. I remember a lot of those boxes and labels, you know. You got to see post-oat toasties. Remember there? Or post toasties. There you go. Post toasties.
I mean, what rat is going to come in and go, yeah, Kellogg's cornflakes, go get them, boys.
Like, yeah.
Oh,
Rats love
He's
them some
super smart.
cornflakes, man.
Ben is incredible.
Well, we'll see. We'll see in a scene here just in a second. They left the Count Chocula untouched.
Yeah. Yeah.
no diabetes for Ben.
You boys stick with the shredded wheat. It's good for you. Listen
I
to
have
Ben.
an unopened box of Count Chocula downstairs right now.
Yeah, like this security guard flashlight
Doesn't work.
never ever like this is the most you see of a flashlight. That's it. Because any other time that he's it's shown, it's not even on.
That's a lot of rats.
So there's like
Yeah.
1,000 rats in there
Yeah.
as soon as he makes the call. But by
Right.
the time
Yeah.
the backup gets there, no rats.
That's
Well,
because
that's-
Ben saw him call it in.
That's why the cops go crazy about this stuff. Every time they show up, all the rats are gone. They don't know where they go.
Maybe the cop could have followed them. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here.
They really like cornflakes. They were real
Yeah.
into the cornflakes.
And that C&H sugar from Hawaii.
So that cop, that old, or not that cop, that reporter, that old guy reporter, he's LA's only reporter,
Apparently.
and he's spending all his time on the rat story.
That's his beat.
Small town life.
That's his beat. He has a weekly column on rats. And he knew he had to be called in.
Yeah.
He was a specialist on rats.
This is big news for me. This is big news right here. I'm the rat guy.
Right in his wheelhouse.
Yeah. Willard was based on a novel, and it was adapted by a guy who then wrote this movie just out of his own imagination. So, way to go. I'm sure the author of the book was thrilled.
Who wouldn't be? What a tribute.
So here we have our second rendition. Starts today.
Oh my God.
Come along now, Ben.
He
Ben puppet.
Yeah, he has made a Ben puppet to perform for Ben. And this puppet twerks on stage. It shakes its ass in front of Ben. It twerks. It entices him. It is totally inappropriate.
Oh boy.
Like it's singing to him, and Ben loves it. And then it turns around and it wiggles its butt at him. And oh man.
And then
Who,
Ben says,
why?
"Am I a joke to you?
Is that
All
what
right,
you
boys,
think
get
I
ready.
look like?
Get ready. Here we
Yeah.
go."
Ben, I don't know why, but your puppet was sticky when I found it in the stage. Or
All right.
Can you explain that, Ben? So
You know
Ben,
anything about this puppet, Ben?
Yeah, Ben and Danny are getting closer all the time.
Great.
He sure is cute.
Rats.
Ernest Borgnine had a fear of rats. He was afraid of them.
I have a fear of Ernest
That's how he
Borgnine,
died.
so I mean
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. So that makes his appearance in Willard all the more impressive, in my opinion.
See, Daddy is trying to educate Ben that they should only take a little food from each store.
Yeah, see, he knows that he's teaching Ben how to rat, you know? It's like,
Yeah,
don't
he's
call
mansplaining to Ben.
street smarts for rats.
don't call attention to yourself.
Oh, Danny's marionette show.
Yeah.
I hate this whole garage
Oh
set.
God, I do
hate it.
too.
It looks so fake and terrible. Like if Danny had made his own marionette show sign that was like kind of wonky, was just kind of
Or if
taped
this was like
something.
in his tree house or something
Right.
like that, but that he has a custom made
marquee,
little,
a lit sign with professional lettering, professional-ish marionette puppets.
the whole set is like,
Oh,
His
You
mom
know.
spoils him because he's got a heart problem.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
he just revealed his like surgery scar, so like he's talking about how he's going to have another surgery. So you are given the impression that Danny is like kind of screwed.
They are going to implant that harmonica directly in his chest, I believe, and then that way, when he breathes, you'll know he's coming.
That's right.
His heart Monica, they'll call it. I'm still here.
Turn on your harp light.
oh, can you imagine if Neil Diamond got a hold of the soundtrack of this baby
Oh boy.
instead of Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was almost.
Ben!
It was.
La 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 la.
They're burning to America.
Yeah, I bet
So-
he'd do a badass soundtrack to a marionette show.
And he has. So the cops are here with the exterminators, and Danny decides to hide Ben by putting him in a box and walking out to the cop with the box. This is Danny's idea of hiding Ben.
Yeah.
Hiding him in plain sight.
Yeah.
What a criminal mastermind this little dude is.
Well,
it worked.
He doesn't leave the house.
Not for me, it didn't.
He's got a heart condition. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't talk to anyone.
He's a heart condition, not a brain tumor. My God. There's no judgment impairment here.
It's a little known fact. If you have a degenerative heart disorder, it turns you into an idiot.
Okay.
No, officer, it's not a rat in a box.
It's definitely not scritching and
If I had a
crawling
rat
around
in a
you.
box, would I have walked right by you?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm just
See, he's
taking
a
some
genius.
shoes in the house. Yeah, shoes.
He's doing what Ben tells him to do. That's it. He has no will of his own. That's how Ben works. He's not your friend.
Danny's
Master manipulator.
teaching Ben about traps.
Oh yeah, they set traps, so he's telling him not to eat in the trap.
Yeah,
He's
he
got
shows
black eyes. Like a
Like a
doll's
rat's
eyes. Like a rat's eyes.
Yeah, that scene almost works.
At least it's daylight out. You can see it. What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah. Got that going for it.
Yeah, they finally figured it out.
Yeah. Look at lavish Los Angeles. Glamorous.
It's very homey and glamorous at the same time.
He sure is cute.
Yeah.
Oh, this fucker.
He fell into a rose bush.
I love how later on he's like emphatic about it. He fell. into a rose bush. Did I stutter?
Yes, once Danny decides to lie, he is married to it. He's like,
Yeah.
no, that is what happened. I will never admit that I'm lying.
He lies through the whole movie. He's not sympathetic.
Yeah.
Well, but he's also smart because if you turn on Ben will have his rat army kill you.
Yeah.
I don't think he's doing it out of fear. I think
Yeah.
Oh,
As we-
no, he knows.
Who knows?
He knows. I can't turn on this rat or I'll die. I love the rat.
It's that he loves the rat. It's not a healthy relationship. He'll do anything the rat tells him. He loves him.
I do love the rat, but I also know this rat will kill me.
He will go into the sewer for the rat.
Band-Aids had us busting out laughing.
Yeah.
I am stuck on Band-Aids. It's stuck on me.
So here they are. They bring Danny out, and they're like, this boy says you it had rats attack his legs. And Danny is like, no. There he
That's
is.
ridiculous.
Fell into a rose bush.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of looks like a tiny Dom DeLuise.
I'm never going to unsee that now.
Yeah. He's making a little.
He could wear a satin wrestling mask and a cape. Dun dun dun.
Yeah, I see him in a cross-country race with Burt Reynolds, maybe.
Yeah. Absolutely.
A lot of trench coats here in LA. Lots of them.
And bad lighting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. It's like
That's
LA
the-
invented it.
That's the irony of Los Angeles. They make so many movies there, and yet it is so badly lit.
It's the Weekly World News.
So Danny pulls the ultimate dick move here,
Bad boy.
Yeah.
further losing any shred of sympathy I might have for this horrible little man.
Yeah, he tells everyone he's going to show them Ben. So they're all like, okay, we're going to see this rat named Ben. We're all going to see the actual rat. And then he brings out the puppet instead. And not only does he bring it out, he like hits the cop with it, right? Or something.
And makes the bad boy face.
Okay, here's my confusion. They show a picture of a candy factory, but the next thing you see is a hospital full of nurses.
Yeah. They're candy stripers.
In the dark.
Oh.
But
You should be proud.
Danny, you didn't lie to me, did you?
Oh, yes, I did.
Of course
thumbs
I
up for
lied.
the Tomorrowland poster, though. I'll
Yep.
give that up for him.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's the kind of like wealthy vacation that a rich guy like Danny goes on,
Except he's not allowed to go to Tomorrowland
He's
because
not-
of his
yeah.
art. He just gets a poster.
It just gets God, that is sad. If he wasn't such a lying, thieving bastard, I'd feel bad for him.
He did have a brief excursion to Harmonica Land, but it did not go well.
I went to
She looks high.
Disneyland and all I got was this harmonica. And a poster.
Yeah, just 10 years after this, she would be on Family Ties. Very weird.
Someone comb that kid. Jesus.
What
Yeah.
would we do, baby?
Did she wear glasses?
Oh,
Is that the mom from Family
Yeah.
Ties?
Yeah, that's
That's
Meredith
her.
Baxter Burney.
Yep.
Or
What
before the
show?
Baxter.
Before she hyphenated.
Before the Bernie.
Yeah, before the Bernie. Sorry.
Wow.
But yeah, because that show started in the 80s. I don't
Early
remember
80s.
if it was 82 or.
Because there ain't no nothing we can't get each other through.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
it
was
was
another
early, it was
thing.
early 80s. So
Yeah, that was like a show that, like, I remember my cousin Kristen absolutely loved that show. I could
Yeah,
not.
1982, 10 years later.
Our
you.
mom loved that show. We watched
Yeah.
it in our house.
Yeah,
Gotta love the Alex P. Keaton.
Yeah.
I couldn't care less about it though. There were no robots or laser weapons of any kind.
Or rats.
As a matter of fact, I remember my mom getting teary-eyed at the breakup episode of remember, like, there was a really sad breakup episode with Keaton.
That's some big glasses.
I don't know. What,
I got me some big glasses.
The parents broke up? What?
No, the parents didn't break up.
Alex and his girlfriend.
Yeah, Alex and his girlfriend broke up, and there's a real emotional breakup scene. And
oh no,
and
Kristen like bawled her
yeah.
eyes out when that happened. Like, that was like the end of the freaking world.
Let's meet at the Wedge.
The only thing that I remember really about Family Ties, and that the only time I ever laughed at it that I remember, was the daughter was really upset about something, and she was bawling in her room, and the dad was just like, "Hey, look, we want to go get some Chinese food," and she just went, "Chinese food, Chinese food. You want me to get Chinese food?" And just, it was ridiculous.
I remember when Tom Hanks slapped Alex.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks was on that show?
Yeah.
Yeah, he played Meredith Baxter's brother.
Her alcoholic brother.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I want to
And
say
he slapped him.
I want to say that the girlfriend that Alex broke up with was Courtney Cox.
Whoa, really?
I could be wrong. I'd have to look it up.
I do want to say I love the health spa. This was a real bright moment
like
here.
The overboard sort of hair pulling, screaming.
Yeah. And like, there's no food there, so the rats are just doing this for fun.
Well,
now,
if they were
now they're just being jerks.
They were in the cheese shop next door and got into a frenzy. See? Then they all got loaded and went and scared some fat ladies.
I have eaten too much cheese, and that has happened to me, so I can relate.
Really, when I eat too much cheese, I just kind of fall into a cheese coma. I'm grateful for it, though.
That's the best
Courtney Cox
coma.
was definitely on Family Ties.
Wow.
Yeah. And then later on, he got another girlfriend, and he ended up marrying her in real life.
Oh.
Afterwards, yeah.
Oh yeah, Mrs. Fox. Yeah.
Actual Family Ties.
Hang on, I'm gonna look it up. It's bugging me now.
Right, so he's got this $1,000 train set among other things in his fucking garage.
Yeah.
Before we get too far from Family Ties, I'm just noticing that Crispin Glover was also a guest star.
Whoa. The circle is complete.
Yeah. Had to tie that up before we.
Yeah. For all we know, Mo DeCesso trained some animals for an episode of it.
Oh, no. It was the girlfriend. Okay, so it was the girlfriend that he broke up with. That was the one that he married in real life later. And then came Courtney Cox.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then came Courtney Cox.
Okay, so here we have a cascade of failures in the blocking and the dialogue here. The worst thing about this scene in particular is that he puts the rat in his jacket and says, "My sister's coming. I gotta hide you." And then they cut to a scene of the sister and the boyfriend walking closer to him, and then he pulls Ben back out.
Yeah.
It's just mind-blowingly stupid.
Yeah. Then he gets in the sewer.
He climbs all the way in the sewer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right in front of, ostensibly, his sister and boyfriend.
That's not his sister.
That's not her?
No, that's just some random girl.
Oh, okay.
Then what the hell is he hiding from?
Yeah.
because he doesn't want to be seen with a rat.
So he pulls the rat out of his jacket.
Well,
Yeah.
after they've gone by.
No,
Everyone-
they didn't go by. They didn't.
Everyone's on high alert because of rats. Everyone's on big, on
Yeah, they
lookout
go
for rats.
by, and he pulls the rat out and puts him down, and he follows the rat. And then the guy turns around and goes, "Hey, there's no kid."
The couple never passes him in the blocking.
Oh, really? I didn't notice that part last night.
Nope.
I just know
Well,
that
at this
some
point,
yeah, he goes down into the sewer to compliment Ben
Mhm.
on his home and
on
thank
his
him
beautiful home and his
yeah.
family. Yes.
Yeah.
He
Slimy.
wants-
Mud hole. My homeless is. The world's
It is-
cleanest sewer, ladies and gentlemen.
It is a fine sewer. It really is.
You guys are saying that, but at one point he falls into the sewer again, or he falls down because of a gush of water knocks him over.
Yeah, someone
there's-
flushed the toilet on him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's just a human hand sitting in there, and he picks it up and throws
Yes.
it away. And they
I'm
never
not-
even talk about it. Like
No.
he's just like, oh, a human severed hand, whatever. Like
Because of the poor lighting, are we sure it's not a glove?
It could be a
Well,
glove, but it doesn't play well.
yeah, it I mean,
True.
it's full. It looks like a hand. It looks like
Hey,
a hand to me.
If
anyway,
the
but-
glove don't fit, you must have quit.
Yeah,
If I want to
yeah,
be
yeah.
pedantic, there shouldn't be any goddamn lighting down here at all. But there is.
Yeah.
There's better lighting in the sewer.
First, there's not enough light. Now there's too much light.
Yeah, there's better lighting in the sewer than there is outside on the street.
The sewer is my favorite set in the film.
Yeah, by
It's
this
not
point,
a
by
bad
this
thing.
point in the movie, Adam is furious. So.
I've lost it. I have thrown things at the television already.
You know
Ben-
what this movie needs is a raccoon named Zorro.
Ben probably had
I
some
agree.
lights put in.
What's that?
Man, that's a
Ben
lot of
had
rats.
some lights put in
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
he wanted it to
Yeah.
be a nice home.
Yeah.
Look,
He spruced
baby
it
rat.
up. He got a carpet, He really did a lot to impress Danny here. He's like, oh, Danny's gonna love it.
I mean, it doesn't have marionettes, but I think he's going to be impressed.
Yeah.
Well, Ben's wife also has an eye for decorating. So
Turns out
Oh,
Danny's
I
an
don't
uptown
know.
girl, though.
I don't know. Little paint, some throw pillows.
and this scene goes on for about 8.5 hours.
Yeah. And Danny has a chest scar
Uh-huh.
that's still red, so he probably shouldn't be rolling around in the
Probably
sewer,
not.
Oh,
it's
no,
probably probably not a good idea for him.
This is the only time that he actually kind of goes, "Oh God."
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I'm
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Time to play harmonica.
It's like, don't forget, everyone, I have spells.
It never affects the plot at all. It's just an
Mhm.
excuse for him to get out of trouble
Mm-hmm.
and be
Yeah.
in trouble.
Yeah.
Zero
And an
empathy.
Ambiguous ending as well.
Oh my God, Ben, you're here.
Yeah. At
You
the
didn't want to
very-
spend the night in the sewer either. Oh my God. Come cuddle
Plenty of
with
room.
me.
Come on.
I
in.
just took a bath, so yeah, go ahead. Let's all roll in my bed. Yay.
Hey, you brought a bunch of other rats tonight.
Will you lick the scar on my chest? It isn't healed yet.
Ben, how are you about giving injections?
Ben could probably do it, Like Ben's like, is this what they have you on? Oh no. Here, look, I found something much better.
In the gutter.
In
He
the
spent
gutter.
some time in the lab
Yeah.
when he
Yeah.
was younger.
He knows what he's doing.
How do you feel about the chandelier?
I feel nothing for this movie, including the lamps.
Smilex would not be impressed.
It's
No.
not bad. It's not. I would welcome it into my home.
I don't know about the wainscoting though.
Nope.
No.
Nope. So this seems like a good idea. Bring all the rats inside, and
Mhm.
no one will ever know.
No one will ever notice that you're covered in rats.
Yeah.
Except for your sister,
Yeah.
who's instantly marked for death.
Oh, and this
Oh.
happens. This happens because the mother has the bright idea all of the sudden during this rat plague that's been going on that they should check his window
Yeah.
out of nowhere. Shouldn't you be checking all the doors and windows the whole movie long? I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like I understand that his mom's having a
And now
hard
she
time with him
realized-
being sick, but she is
But
such
now
a
she
basket case.
But now she realized that he lied.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But he just.
She never got over the puppeteer just moving on
Yeah.
when
Whoever
the
does.
circus left town.
Does she even really know Danny?
Does anybody?
We don't get the impression that. Yeah.
Ben does.
Yeah. And now
Ben
Danny's Danny's getting good cop, bad cop, but he is sticking to the story, man. He is not, fell into a rose bush.
Into a rose bush.
you got
And
to give it to Danny. He ain't no snitch.
Snitches
On
get
himself.
stitches.
Yeah, that's the most important snitch to not be.
Oh, it's just awful. Like, this is supposed to be drama nested in horror, and there is neither. It's just flat as a frickin' pancake. Things happen, and then things happen, and then things happen, but there's no cohesive connective tissue here at all.
And Wizard, you watched Willard. Willard is similarly dry, right? As far as tone and color palette, these two films are real similar, right?
Willard, though, has a much better story.
Uh-huh.
It has a
it's a
story.
far better movie all around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you say it has a better overall production value in terms of?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, they filmed at the same damn house. I don't know how.
The lighting in those scenes from Willard at the beginning, it all looks so much better than the rest of this. It's just obvious night and day.
I mean, they had real actors in Willard. They had
we're relying on this kid.
Elsa Lanchester.
Yeah.
Is in Willard.
Oh boy. All right.
Yeah. Willard gets Elsa Lanchester for a mom. This kid gets her.
Her.
What was her name?
Miss Defoe.
Yeah.
Rosemary
Ms.
Murphy.
The Xanax Queen.
Miss Defoe.
So yeah, we're gonna watch a bunch of guys open up the same manhole over and over again from different angles.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then they're gonna put barricades around it.
Yep.
And then they're gonna conveniently abandon one of them.
God damn!
So
I cannot get over how poorly lit this freaking movie is.
And then
By the way, Danny's mom was in Mighty Aphrodite
Really?
with the roach scientist.
Yeah. With the Academy Award winning roach scientist.
Once again, the circle is complete.
Most impressive.
This is like 6 degrees of Ben. At the
6 degrees.
That was Kevin Bacon's hand they found.
Yeah.
The same one that touched my knee.
Oh boy.
I know. These guys with the hooks, they're like looking for rats. They're just pushing bodies out of the way. Like, not now, corpse. We got work to do.
Did I ever tell you my Coney Island story with my kid?
No, but please.
Speaking of corpses,
Oh, you read it. No. Okay, so I was at Coney Island Beach with my family, and this is not a clean beach.
No,
as one might imagine. And I don't know, I can't remember. So yeah, Axel had to go to the bathroom, and so I took him up to the shower house where the bathrooms were, and he was like, I don't know, 4, and it was so funny. He got done with the bathroom. It's really crowded and busy. There's a cop talking to 2 people by the by the shower house. And all I hear is this cop tell these two guys, "You know how many dead bodies we find out here?"
Did you wash your hands?
Yeah, and I'm like, "Come on, little buddy, let's go to the beach." Off we
No,
go.
I don't, sir. Could you tell me?
Yeah. How many
Exactly
did you
how
find
many bodies?
today, and where?
Can I poke it with the stick?
Oh, back to Crispin Glover in River's Edge. Yeah, I poked at it with a stick.
Yeah. Man, I haven't seen that movie in.
Yeah, I really don't remember River's Edge.
Oh fuck, I do. I can quote it.
Yeah, I could quote that shit.
All you do is fuck my mom and eat her food.
Food eater.
Food eater.
Nice.
I have a deep and abiding love for that movie.
Is Keanu Reeves in that one?
Yes.
Fuck yes.
Yeah, he is, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And Donovan's daughter.
Oh.
Who directed that movie?
Crispin Glover and Dennis Hopper.
Was it Gus Van Sant?
Is it Gus Van Sant, that right? Isn't it?
So.
It's Gus Van Sant?
I think so. I haven't seen it in forever.
It was the first time I heard Slayer. It was in
Wow.
Crispin Glover's VW Bug.
No, it was directed by Tim Hunter.
Oh, Tim Hunter. Okay.
So we've set up a craft table in the middle of this intersection.
Mm-hmm.
And donuts to the left, coffee to the right.
Everyone's watching them.
Yep. They sure are.
Danny's rocking a pretty sweet. Oh, Danny. Something tells me Danny couldn't actually cry for the camera, so they put some Vaseline on his face there.
We're just gonna put some glycerin right here.
And a little bleach.
We don't want to overdo it.
These cars and these trucks drive around and around and around and around.
Yep.
And it's
This
all
is also, this is the
same
scene
intersection.
when the cops are put in charge of the jackhammers and the flamethrowers, which is usually what cops will do in situations like this.
Yeah, I mean, what problem can't jackhammers and flamethrowers solve?
Don't forget the shotguns.
And shotguns. And shotguns.
Because if you're in a sewer tunnel, you definitely want to be firing a shotgun over and over to make sure you never hear anything again for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
It's
those are
okay,
all
like-
good tools for confined space. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the sewer vapors and the flamethrower.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. That's what I said last
It
night.
enhances.
Yeah,
There's
It's-
zero chance of any
enhances.
kind of trapped methane. Right? No,
Yep.
it'll be fine.
No, dude,
Okay.
I played
It'll be
Witcher
fine.
3 like you planned for that. It's
Mhm,
So Meredith just went down an unattended open manhole,
Mhm.
mhm. Yep.
despite all of the people working around.
Why was there no jackhammer crew with flamethrowers there? You know,
We don't know. We don't know.
because this is where the rats are.
And she didn't drop a sniffer in before she entered a sewer.
No, but she
Mm,
does
that's
immediately
disgusting.
file into a pile of sludge, which I
Yep.
appreciate.
Yeah, I'd
Mhm.
like that too. She's
Yeah.
appropriately grossed out.
Yeah,
Yep.
she's not cut out for this kind of work.
And so and then here's Danny, and Danny is gonna get. This is where he falls and
Oh, there's
finds
the
a
hand.
hand. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
the hand. Like, what?
If it's a glove, there's a hand in it because it's
Yeah.
full.
Yeah, it could be full of anything. It's a sewer. It could be full of diarrhea. Who
It
knows?
doesn't
It's
mean
a
it's a
nice
hand.
Nice flesh covered hand.
Mhm.
Or glove, I mean. It's all right.
And then Joe Campanella finally gets fed up with all this hup tooth stuff,
Mhm.
and he says, "I'm going down there, and
Mhm.
I'm going to teach these guys how to flamethrow."
I'm gonna bring my own shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe this it turns out, this is supposed to be downtown Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
For this
Yeah,
movie's sake, I wished I hadn't found that out.
No, but it has that weird, like, small town thing through the whole first half where, all the neighbors are right there anytime there's
Yeah.
a cop car.
Yeah.
You know how many cop cars it takes to get me out into the street in LA?
That's why
All-
I don't think
all
it's
of
really
them.
supposed to be LA. They were just too lazy to come up with better street names.
Let's see.
Maybe.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm staying in.
Just
You
use
know how
the-
many bodies we fish out of here?
Yeah.
We had four cop cars for a quote unquote routine traffic stop in front of our house. And Adam didn't even bother to peek his head out the window. He's like, it's fine.
If it was for me, they would have knocked already. I'm not impressed. So, yeah, Danny's going to give him a warning.
Mm-hmm. He's letting them know the jig is up.
That's right. And
It's
whenever
time to ride like the wind, Bullseye.
Yeah, and it's like this half-assed tension too, because it's like he starts to feel faint and sick,
Mhm.
but
whenever it's convenient, yeah.
yeah, but it doesn't really go anywhere because he gets out of the sewer just fine. In fact, his sister seems to think that he saved me, as he says later, mumbles something about him getting stronger at the end.
Mhm.
It's a big fat mess.
They're setting up the sequel. They're like, Danny will be back too.
No.
No.
Rat boy.
Yeah. Even though I imagine, like, if the sequel is about like the 3 different owners of Ben, then like the third movie would have had to have started with Danny dying, right? Like
One would hope.
be like a trilogy. Yeah.
Danny just dies of a heart attack in his bed.
He
Very
saved me, but he couldn't save himself.
Bury me with my puppets and my harmonica and also my train station.
And Ben.
And
Kill Ben and bury me with
kill
Ben.
Ben and Barry.
Jesus Christ.
Well, this is why you don't let 10-year-olds write a will.
The rats all pick Danny up and then, body surf him out.
Oh, I like that. That I like. I like that a lot.
Out
Like
to
the-
the sea.
Like the end of the Matrix, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Mo could train those rats to do that.
Heck yeah.
No,
But yeah, these are the big rat shots. I mean,
yeah.
these are rats all trained by Mo. Like Mo.
And there's some really impressive ones, and unfortunately, they do a lot of repeat footage during this sequence, and
Lots of it.
really kind of downgrades it. But I do love the shots where you do have like the masses of rats, and
Yeah,
I
I
do
noticed
like
it
that.
seems like they did one animation of rats over flames, and then you see that 8 or 9 times in a row.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got a lot of use out of that one.
But hey, it's not stock footage. They made this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. Stock footage now.
Yeah.
But man, I gotta tell you, like, it is an uncomfortable sequence to watch because there's so much rat squealing and all of that, and it's like, ooh, man, it really gets to you. I don't like it. And at this point, you basically like the rats more than anybody else in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, and so in here they're getting it, man. They're getting torched, they're getting shot, and it's not fun. It's
torched, shot,
sucks.
drowned.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Guys with radios.
Yep. We all know how useful those are in sewers.
Yeah, and like the one like dickhead cop that you think like, man, he's gonna get it. The rats are gonna get him. Well, spoiler alert, they don't.
Yeah.
Well, it's like Joe Campanella and his lackey come down here to like take charge, but they don't really accomplish anything. They just go down there for a while.
It's kind of like they assume that, nobody else is actually using a flamethrower, like you're just doing what, we've been led to believe many other crews are doing right now, In fact, you're probably in a danger zone. There could be a fireball coming at you at any moment.
Yeah, so there's a lot of this.
Yeah.
There's that animation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was rats, I tell you. Hundreds of rats.
I'll show you rats. There's more nonsense dialogue from the journalist.
Mm-hmm.
Just absolutely nonsense.
Nothing that the journalist says makes sense to me.
No.
Yeah.
It doesn't even spark conversations. Like they just words fall out of everyone's mouth when he's on screen. It's just
They don't pay me to be a hero.
And then yeah, no one's really paid much attention to him either. You know, they don't like him, but this is one of those movies where no one likes anyone. You know, for some reason, if you're not writing a particularly good script, you know, or you're kind of amateur, it always seems like your characters just hate each other the whole time. Like, you know, like that's just like an amateur script technique is to, you know, have disdain for everyone and everything constantly. You know, I don't get it, but you see it a lot. You see it a lot in low budget movies.
Yeah, you know, you're right. I never really thought of it that way, but yeah, it does kind of seem like everyone just hates everyone else.
Yeah, and like a really common trope in horror movies are the people going to a party or on a road trip or vacation together that can't stand each other. You know,
Yes.
From the moment you meet them, you're like, "What the hell are you guys vacationing for?" You know, like you should all be very far away from each other. And why are you partying in a haunted house? It's like the worst place to party. It's just you guys in a boombox and someone you don't like. What kind of party is this? You
And
know?
a 12-pack. Yeah.
Yeah, and a 12-pack, you know. Anyway, rant over, digression, dissipating.
We're not missing anything. I mean, it's the same.
It's like another hour of
Same
this.
stuff. Yeah. This was. Oh my god! It was interminable.
Yeah.
We kept checking the player to see how much time was left. We're like, oh,
And it's a
not
short
to see
film.
if it was okay.
Yeah. This thing falls within 90 minutes, so
technically
it's a short film. Yeah.
It
not if
just
you're watching
that way
absolutely
right
doesn't
now.
feel
Yeah.
like it.
It doesn't. It felt like it dragged on forever.
there's no one to like in the movie except Ben.
Mm-hmm. This was one of Roger Ebert's least favorite movies.
And he wrote Valley of the Dolls. So
yeah, he put out a like a list of 100 you know, of his least favorite films. I believe this was on the list. So
I can't imagine why.
Here's this
I'm
one
with you,
again.
Roger.
because he has to review them, you know, like I feel like critics
So do I.
sometimes really take movies personally because they just see one after the other, and every once in a while one just offends them. And they, you know,
Seventh Moon.
yeah. Yeah, we saw Seventh Moon. Well, I didn't see it, but I feel like I've seen it because everyone was so upset about it. That was the follow-up from the guy who did Blair Witch Project. You know?
Oh,
Which
Learning-
I also hated.
Yeah,
I
learning in real
hated-
time that this is not a shtick you can just stick to forever, you know?
I hate the Blair
And
Witch Project.
that movie-
I still hate it. 20
It-
years later, and I still hate that movie.
It's a
That-
turd.
that
Oh,
movie
no,
almost ruined-
Seventh Moon is nothing like Blair Witch,
So
other than it's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
And you know, if Wizard's saying it's horrible, it's fucking horrible.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like a lot of shit. I do.
Yeah.
But Jesus Christ, this thing is
Listen,
just-
Adam and I
I'm not saying you
review
have
bad movies
Yeah.
yeah, we watch
for
bad
a
movies for a
living.
living.
Yeah.
And
Bad.
man,
This was rough.
yeah,
Yeah, and I'm not saying Wizard has bad taste. He just gives
Okay,
a lot of stuff
why?
the benefit of the doubt.
Why aren't you
know,
saying that?
Yeah.
Why
Mhm,
does the chiseled handsome boy
mhm,
take out his lighter to light the cigarettes, and then Mark Twain reporter guy
mhm.
takes it and makes a big show out of lighting both cigarettes? Why? Why is that
Why?
there?
Yeah, what was it edited out that is
Yeah.
a payoff for?
I
Because there are
thought-
no setups and no payoffs in this movie at all.
I thought maybe he was referencing 3 on a Match for some reason.
That's what I said out loud.
You know, I was
trying.
Yeah,
but that's not a good reference.
Yeah,
I don't know what that means.
Okay, so in wartime, you never used a match for 3 people's cigarettes if you were in a foxhole or whatever, because by the time you reach the third person, the sniper's got a bead on you.
Yeah.
So you never lit 3 cigarettes in a row in wartime.
Yeah,
just a bad luck thing.
Yeah, and so like it's a bad. Yeah, it continues to be a bad luck thing in just normal everyday life, where, you know, if you and your friends are hanging out, and you're lighting everyone's cigarette, you're supposed to.
And then he lights his already lit cigar.
Yes. And nothing is resolved at all from that.
He is a reporter, but he somehow knows nothing about human interaction whatsoever.
Right.
Poor
boy. Oh boy.
Here's where things took a turn for me.
This is where
they drugged the rat.
Willard's feeling bad. Yeah.
This is where I actually felt bad for the rat, because it honest to God looks like he's got a little tincture of merthiolate, which is like
mercurochrome.
Yeah, mercurochrome, which is
super painful.
Stings like the devil.
Yes,
it's
it
like
does.
It's like cleaning a wound with gasoline, and he's just putting it all over Ben.
Oh, poor Ben.
Every skinned knee I ever had as a child got coated.
Yep.
In that evil pink fluid.
Yes, and I remember it well. But Ben's gonna be okay because Danny's gonna be
okay.
Get the iodine.
That is such a weird ending, because
but
you're really
thank
not.
God it ended.
Yes. I'm not saying no. Please drag it out more. It's just, you know, like it just ends like it's like, oh, Ben, you'll be okay, and I'll be okay.
I'll be okay.
It's sequel bait. Yeah.
And him saying I'll be okay. It's almost like he's like just admitting, like, Ben, you're not going to be okay. I'm not going to be okay. You're not going to be okay. That's not how any of this works.
I don't think Ben's going to pull out of that one.
I don't feel okay after watching this.
He's going to be fine.
Ben is fine. Ben totally lived. I
He's
will
still
not
alive.
hear otherwise.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
he's tough. He's a survivor.
Yeah.
He'll probably pull through.
They were planning a sequel.
Yes, they were planning a sequel.
Obviously.
Ben
They
totally
just
left.
Yeah, they just pulled this, like, this director that made this movie. He was a complete and total workhorse, and he was known for noir and action films. Made this movie and then immediately made Walking Tall.
Oh my God.
Yikes.
So he ruled the weird cultural phenomenons of the 70s. It's almost like he invented pet rock too, you know. He's like, oh yeah, I did Ben, and you know, I did
Chia
Walking
Pet.
Tall, you know. Folks who don't know, Walking Tall, Buford T. Pusser, like, that character endured for a bizarrely long time, and he was a real person.
And got a remake starring The Rock.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
I forgot.
Oh.
It's got a remake.
Says a lot more about modern times than it does that. Though.
Well, it was Joe Don Baker in the original, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Joe Don Baker would not do the sequels, so they hired Bo Svensson, and Bo Svensson did both sequels.
Yes, Bo Svensson.
He did a television show as Buford T. Pusser, and then he would also, like, open up grocery stores, cut red ribbons and shit, you know, as Buford T. Pusser. And apparently, like, Bo Svensson was like blackout drunk his entire career. I saw him speak once about this and talk about how he didn't remember, like, all these pivotal moments in his life because he was blackout drunk. He didn't remember doing any Buford T. Pusser at all.
Wow.
He didn't remember either of those movies, TV show, nothing, no groceries. He couldn't remember any of it. all of these public appearances, and he's blackout drunk.
Goals.
I'm
Yeah.
amazed. I don't know how people do
Yeah.
that, man. That's
Yeah.
impressive, honestly.
There's that football movie that he's known for. The name of it escapes me, but Bo Svensson was super famous for his role in this like football comedy, and he didn't remember making that movie. He just didn't remember any. Yeah, we were there watching a movie that he had been in called Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker, aka Night Warning, and he was there to talk about it. And he was like, I don't remember making this movie at all. He's like, I've never seen this movie. I don't think I even knew it existed till you told me.
But I came here to talk about it.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys could fill me in on it.
Yeah.
I'll ask you the questions.
Yeah. Why are we here? He had just done a cameo for Kill Bill, and he was like, you guys are going to love this movie. It's incredible. I mean, I can't even tell you, but he was just going on and on about it. That's what I remember most is about that interview.
That's what he remembered.
That Q&A was that Bo Svensson couldn't remember anything about it. Anything he had done.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway,
All right.
back to the movie. We just watched Ben. I've got a real inkling as to how this voting is going to go. Something tells me we won't need a tiebreaker.
Will not.
But I do want to start out with the Wizard, of course, who chose this. And when we were talking about Willard, you were saying that Willard has a better plot, has better production values, has a better script, even though the script was written by the same guy. It came for the benefit of being based on a book, where Ben is just a screenplay written by the same guy who adapted the book. So anyway,
who can write a movie but can't write a story?
Yeah, there you go. He can write a movie. He also wrote like a gazillion episodes of TV shows. If you look up that guy, he worked on everything. So did it. Some of the stuff that popped out was like the Twilight Zone and lots of stuff. Anyway,
so I am going to say,
how happy are you that you revisited this?
as one of the only people that had seen it when I was younger, and revisiting it, if you really liked it when you saw it the first time, yeah, maybe don't. I don't know. I'm glad I watched it again.
You're glad you watched it again.
I am glad I watched it again.
Yeah.
But I know I am not like other people.
So for the general public, folks,
For the general public, I am going to say you probably want to hold those memories close to you and watch Willard again.
Yeah. Because who knows? Maybe you liked that boy when you were a kid, Do you really want to be reintroduced to him and find that you don't like him,
I did not remember the puppet song.
You did not remember?
At all.
Selective blackouts.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a repressed memory.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you ever find yourself where you're trying to like something that you don't like.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm gonna like this, but God no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's
People are
so
nuts.
peppy. I don't like things that are peppy.
Yeah. And that boy's full of pep.
No,
so
there is no pep in this movie.
No, that song is peppy.
Yeah.
The
That song is peppy as fuck.
All
The
right.
wake up song. The wake up
Yeah.
song is peppy.
Start today. It doesn't help that I fucking hate the morning.
Yeah.
Morning is my enemy. I love the nighttime. I like to boogie. On the disco.
So it sounds like you're a thumbs down, though.
I
basically,
think
for you?
I gotta go thumbs down on this
Yeah.
one. It hurts
Okay.
me.
Yeah.
It's hard. And if you've never seen this movie, really, you should watch Willard.
Yeah. And then if you just need more rat action that looks cheaper and darker, then watch Ben.
Yeah, but this is like, if you're a completist,
Mm-hmm.
well, then fucking watch this movie. But otherwise, move on. There are better things.
Go elsewhere for your entertainment.
Very good. Okay, well, we got a thumbs down, and I think we'll just go ahead and move on to Adam.
Oh boy.
He has thoughts.
Well, I really dislike this movie strongly in every department it has. Everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the sound was okay. The rat noises were a little loud. The music, of course, is trash. Everything about it. The lighting is bad. The writing is bad. The actors are bad. The story is not much. They tried to make a somewhat. Well, first of all, they tried to make a horror movie, and there's nothing horrible about it.
Mm-hmm.
Unless
No, it's horrible.
No, well,
it's not horrifying.
They didn't try to make a horrible movie. They tried to make a horror movie.
Yeah.
So, unless you have a thing about rats, there's nothing scary here. There's also nothing funny going on. There's no characters that you want to empathize with. They tried to make a movie about a rat plague, but this movie itself is the sum of all plagues. And it's a thumbs down. It's really a double thumbs down for me. I was angry. I wanted to hurt my television. My wife cried. Thumbs down. No, nothing personal, Mick. This is what the show is about. Sometimes we remember things being a little bit nostalgia colored glasses, but that's a no from me, dog.
Outstanding. Did you have some notes there? I feel like maybe one of those.
No, I'm just not drunk yet.
Prepped. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. No, I mean, it made an impression, and it's still with me today. But I would give Willard a shot, but this just made my wife and I just angry, and
I totally understand.
Didn't make me feel one way or the other about rats that I didn't already feel. I just got to let this one go, and I think vodka and pills will be the way to do that.
Oh boy, this kitten, he's just like, he took a little nap. He took a little nap.
Oh, look at that guy. Hello, kitty.
And then he took a big dump.
Oh.
And now he's jumping around. He just jumped on the keyboard and almost ended the show.
They get so excited after they poop.
Yeah, I know. He's like, woo, that was a great dump. Now I'm a wild man. Wow.
Oh, he's so cute. Oh my God.
Look at that little wily little rascal.
He looks a little bit like Jimmy.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he's fun. He's also kind of scary because as you could tell, I do hoard precious things.
Like peeps.
All right. Barbara, did we already get over? No, we haven't gotten to Barbara's vote yet, right? Okay. We've got two.
Oh, I think you already know how this is going. we turned off the TV last night. Adam just goes, I'm so mad at Nick.
And I was. I really was. And you were too.
I was too.
I'm glad to do my part.
Mm-hmm.
It was just one, it was not scary. It was the threadbarest of plots. The acting was terrible. The lighting, everything was just bad. It was just bad. And I think that even if you really liked this movie as a younger person, keep those memories locked in your heart, locked in your head, but don't go back and revisit them because they will be lost. They will be lost. And it was there. I can't think of enough emphasis to place on how much this movie disappointed me and left me.
It's exceptionally limp.
It's
weird.
unfulfilling.
Yeah, it was just there was nothing there. It was a 90-minute nothing happening, and just me getting angrier by the minute. And how much I hated that kid.
I've never seen a feature film that felt so made for TV in my life. Like,
Right?
Yes.
really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was definitely going to point that out when on my go around, was that I really felt like this was a TV movie, like not even a very good TV movie level of production quality. Like it's
Maybe that's the BCP touch, you know. That's the Bing Crosby studio. That's just the look.
It's not a very good anything.
Not a very good cultivated look. That's all right. Well, we got 3 thumbs down. 3 thumbs down. So now I think we're just on alert for if anyone liked it. We're going to move on to Bride of Pumpkinhead and see if this was what you've been looking for.
So I don't have as strong feelings as the previous panelists. This movie did make me tired and bored. I did still cry at the end, but I was crying for all the pets I've been unable to help, not.
Yeah.
Well, and maybe Ben a little bit, but
but not for the boy. Not for the boy.
No, it really reminded me of, like, in Steel Magnolias, you're not crying about Shelby. You're crying because of what Sally Field is going through.
Yeah.
Same. I don't want to compare this movie to Steel Magnolias, though, because that is a good movie.
Yeah. And we don't have all night, There's so many parallels.
Yeah. Well, there was the plague of pigeons from the beginning.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we are going to go. We're going to do the PowerPoints.
We're starting at the very beginning.
So,
all right, buckle up, everybody. Here we go.
We're going to do a frame by frame, side by side comparison. I guess I'll go with the group and thumbs down it. I do feel like if you loved this movie when you were young, your time would be better spent doing something else than revisiting it.
Yeah. You could make marionettes.
You can impress your friends. Write a song. Write a song about friendship. I did like the song. I thought Michael Jackson singing it was just like, wow, what was I doing when I was 14?
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. His voice is amazing. Amazing.
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went on a tangent before the show because Michael Jackson also sings the main theme from Free Willy. If you really want to get upset, read about what happened to the orca. Oh my God. It's very sad.
It's very sad.
Very
it's
sad.
Tragic.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, so those are in the don't column. Don't watch Ben. Don't read about Free Willy. Do listen to both of the Michael Jackson songs. Well, maybe not the Free Willy. Well, I mean, it's probably okay. I don't know. I haven't listened to it since, like, elementary school.
Now we're gonna have to revisit that and see, not the movie, but just the song.
It might be okay.
Yeah.
But Ben the song, greater than Ben the movie.
Chef's kiss. Well, that's not saying much. I mean, it's better than just better than the movie, I mean,
yeah.
Anyway. Cool.
Vote.
Another thumbs down.
Yeah.
All right. Let's pour some gravy on it.
Oh yeah, it's time to get smooth and lumpy. All right. Well, I mean, the consensus is thumbs down, and I agree. If you saw this movie when you were a kid and you were enamored with it at that time, I can almost guarantee you that if you watch it now, you're going to be really disappointed. The production quality is poor. The plot is poor. The writing is poor. The acting is poor. The lighting is freaking atrocious. To the point where, like, you know, it will piss you off. Now I do want to point out some things I did like about the movie. The ending is unsettling. Again, it's kind of like, what kind of movie were they really trying to make? You know, not really sure. Guess they were trying to make a horror film. I don't know. But the ending of the film is unsettling because, like I said before, you know, at the end of it, the only beings that in this film that you cultivate any sort of sympathy for really turns out to be the rats. And I think that's clever in a way. But the way they went about getting you there is almost incidental because everybody else is so freaking obnoxious and terrible. I liked some of the shots of the multiple rats. The shots with lots and lots of rats is kind of impressive. So it's got its little things. I like the sewer set. But all in all, this feels like a really bad TV movie. Yeah, it's not worth, and somebody who hasn't seen it, I would not recommend watching it. And if you, like I said, if you were enamored with it when you were a kid, you shouldn't come back. But the Michael Jackson song at the end is quite something. Everything else is freaking terrible.
Well, all right. Well, I'm not going to break the tie here. Come on now. This would actually be a difficult to heckle film because it's just too flat, you know. There's just not enough going on. You would have some really bright moments. Obviously, you could make good fun of the marionette sequence and you know, and some of those you know, some of that stuff in the sewer with the flamethrowers, it's just so silly.
I don't know. I think we did a pretty good job at heckling this movie tonight.
Yeah. I think it's heckleable.
Well, we got to, you know, our version was shorter. We got to skip through some like real, you know, I mean, anyway, yeah, I think you would be disappointed with this film. I think you'd wonder, like, kind of like, why did I like this movie so much? You know, when I was a kid, like, what was it that I, you know, like, I think it would be, you know, especially upsetting if you felt a connection with that boy to rewatch this movie.
Yeah, like if that was the thing, right? Like, oh, I related to that kid. I was lonely. I didn't have any friends. You know, I mean, there's something to that, and I get it, but like, yeah, watching it again as an adult, yeah.
And if you were like, man, I love the mom, like, definitely don't watch it. Boy, oh boy. So okay,
boy, freaking bad.
All right,
redeemable.
Well, we have got it. It's complete recall. So do not do it. We all agree. And how often does that happen?
That's pretty rare.
Yeah. So thanks for bringing us together, Wizard.
Unity at last.
I said going in, I was not. I was afraid that I would not like this one on the revisit. That was the point.
But you shared it anyways.
No, and that's the point of the show. Yeah, it's brave, man.
Yeah.
Cool.
We're still not going to do Free Willy, but yes, it is. We're not that brave.
Never seen it.
We're not.
I've never seen it either.
Oh my god!
No.
I saw it like 100 times.
Oh god, I watched part of it on HBO and just went, nope, and turned it off and walked away.
Have you seen the Whale Rider, the New Zealand version of Free Willy?
No.
Yeah, we watched it together.
The
was
Whale
pretty good.
Rider?
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
I forget
With
the
that
girl's
little
name.
girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She went on to be in Game of Thrones. She was one of the sand snakes or whatever they're called.
Oh.
She was
Oh,
very good in that movie.
okay.
Yeah.
I do remember. I don't think I ever watched it, but I do know who you're talking about.
Yeah, this is not a suggestion
Yeah.
to anyone to nominate. I'm just saying. Good movie.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember that now. I guess maybe if I
Okay,
watched the
maybe
trailer or something.
yeah.
But, you know,
I will say this is my
Doesn't sound
avatar. If you didn't already know, is from the Secret of Nim.
Yeah.
So if you want to watch a good
If you want a good
rodent
rat
If
movie,
you want a
movie,
good
yeah, you
rat
want
movie.
okay, this is it, and I did watch it with
and
my
I-
kids like some point in the last 10 years or so, and it's still good. So
it's still
yeah.
good. I liked
Yeah.
I liked the book Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of Nim.
Yeah.
I've read that.
I liked I read that as a kid and I liked it, and I enjoyed the movie too. So
Yeah, the movie was awesome.
Totally.
Yeah. I loved it when I was a kid, and
Has
yeah,
Dom
watch-
DeLuise, by the way.
It's a cat.
Bringing
It's
that
a
back.
cat. It's a
Bringing
cat.
that back, man.
Yeah. The crow's
You
name
have a
was
sparkly.
Yeah.
You have a sparkly. I love sparklies.
Yeah, it's great. So yeah, you want a good rat movie? Watch The Secret.
Yeah.
Movie.
100%.
And don't watch Food of the Gods because don't watch it if the rat action in this film upset you because you saw rats being depicted as getting hurt, because in Food of the Gods they were shooting the rats with an air gun to simulate a shotgun blast, and a lot of people don't believe them when they say that. They think they were hitting them with BBs.
It's still not okay.
It's
That's
not okay
not
either
cool at
way.
all,
It's
man.
not cool either
Yeah.
way, but yeah. So and there's a lot of there's a very good reason why when you see a movie nowadays they tell you about the animal action. It's because back in the early 70s, and I doubt that Ben was much of a violator of that as badly as others. In fact, when I was reading about Ben, it was like, it created a whole subsection of the attack by animal, the sympathetic animal, or the kind of the loner with the animals, sort of thing. So there's a movie called Stanley where they definitely were killing snakes. Don't watch Stanley. Unless you hate snakes and you get some sort of catharsis over real snakes.
I do not like snakes.
Mhm.
Never gonna see it.
Yeah,
Don't want to. Don't need
yeah,
to.
yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah, it's full of snakes and
I had
it's not
snakes.
good. Mhm.
Oh, God.
Adam
Yeah,
had
snakes,
rats.
yeah.
I had
Oh.
snakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Probably fed the snake some rats.
Yeah,
so
I
that
did.
just makes it tough,
Yeah.
We need to keep the kitten on hand for just any time things
Palate
things
cleanser.
get difficult.
Oh, don't worry, everyone. It's still
Oh,
me.
there's a kitten.
A poop pig. Oh,
Palate
sorry.
cleanser cat.
I can't hold on to him for too long. He's
Clearly.
all lamped up right now.
It's a wily kitten.
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep him off the wires because he keeps grabbing my headphone wires and the mic wires. Like, oh, I love these. You're playing with these. I want to play with these. So it's great. All right. Well,
It is great.
yeah, we were talking about whose turn it is to pick, and I think I think it's Bride of Pumpkinheads, and I know that she has a list because we were talking about the list earlier. So I'm real interested in what you might have for us.
Yeah. Thanks. I feel like I just went because we watched Mimic recently.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't want to be too greedy, so I'll at least give y'all a selection. So I'm gonna bring back a previous nominee.
Mhm.
We've started watching Only Murders in the Building, and that made
Mhm.
me really want to revisit Parenthood.
Mhm.
So that's nominee number 1. Next, and if this doesn't count, I got others. When
Mhm.
I was a kid, the trailer for the movie Fire in the Sky scared me so much.
That
Mhm.
movie's creepy AF.
Yeah.
It is.
And
It'll mess with you.
And based on a true story.
I saw it when it came out, but I've never seen it since. That's a movie I actually saw at Studio 35, 2 movies for $2 all the time.
I
Or
remember
every night.
Studio
Yeah.
35.
Well,
Oh,
those days are long gone, buddy. You got to pay
Yeah.
full price to go see a movie there now.
Oh, I know. Yeah, they got
Ugh.
first run and they've fancied it up. It's no longer a dive, but
And
yeah,
2 screens. They built another screen.
they built another screen. Oh my God. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, that was a single screen theater that I grew up with, and Gravy grew up with, and like even as an adult continued to go to, because they changed owners a few times, but they kept it 2 movies for $2 every night. Just 7 and 9. And if you were just going for the second movie, you still had to pay full $2 price.
The full $2.
The
Yeah.
full $2 for just one movie.
Oh, the
But
nerve of those people.
Boy, did we see some movies there.
yeah, I saw a lot of movies there. They actually had Dazed and Confused running for months and months and months, and I saw Dazed and Confused in the theater somewhere in the neighborhood of like 10 times. So sorry to get
Wow.
off track, but man,
I have a question,
I love
though.
my memories of Studio 35 so much.
I have a question.
Mhm.
This was a single screen theater.
It was.
It was.
How
Yes.
did they add the second screen?
They built and they added to an upper level. So what they did is basically, so like the upstairs. This is just to my understanding. They basically expanded the upper level where the original projection house was and all that.
Mm.
So
There was no balcony originally. This is not a
Yeah.
classic theater. This was a modern suburban theater.
yeah, and so there was no balcony, but there was an upper level to the building that I believe had like the storage area and I think the
Maybe
projection
some
house.
offices
And
or something. up there.
yeah, and dude, I don't know, somehow they just expanded that
Mhm.
and built like another screening room on top of the existing theater.
Yeah, I got good memories of Studio 35.
Yeah, they had a plexiglass, so a bar area. So if you were in the bar, you could drink and smoke and talk, and you could still see the movie and through the plexiglass window that looked into the theater. And they would also put the speaker. They had a speaker in the corner, so that you could hear it as well.
And
So,
an aquarium.
That's fucking awesome.
yeah,
That sounds amazing.
It was
Yeah.
so great.
yeah.
Um,
And people would
It
get
is-
drunk there, man. I mean, they people would just go there and sit at the bar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there were fixtures. There were people
Yeah.
that went there and drank all the time and pass out on the bar during the movie.
I'll save it for the green room, but I have a story about my local theater becoming a 2-screen theater. But I don't want to get into a digression. I want to hear the rest of Laura's picks.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I've never actually seen Fire in the Sky, but I've always been curious.
Okay.
This nomination is based solely on my fear of the trailer.
Oh, fear of the trip. That's
fear
fair.
of the
Like,
trailer, like seeing when I was a kid.
yeah.
And then third pick, like I know this is a great movie. I just watched it all the time when I was younger, haven't seen it in decades, and that is Death Becomes Her. That I would love to revisit
Ooh, wow.
with y'all.
Interesting.
Neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like all
I am
3 of
I am
those.
good with all 3 of them. I have actually never seen Fire in the Sky, but
Mhm.
I do know the story that it's based on, and so I would be okay with that.
Travis Walton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And what was the third one?
Death Becomes Her.
No, well, that's 2.
Oh,
Oh,
Parenthood
that's
was the
right.
first one.
Parenthood.
Parenthood was the first one. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
A nice smattering of genres for you.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know if anyone wants to vote first. I'm thinking about it. Visualizing these 3 films, and I'm kind of actually leaning towards Parenthood because that is the least thought about, I think, for me.
I'm leaning towards Death Becomes Her because it's the one I remember the least. I remember.
Oh, okay. You don't remember that? Okay.
I remember Fire in the Sky pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I was a fan. I'm an old Art Bell guy, so I've listened to Travis on his show many nights driving across the country.
Oh, the old Art Bell radio show.
Yeah. R.I.P. Art Bell.
It was a special time.
Yeah.
And if you're watching, please feel free to vote.
Yeah. Yes.
Chat.
You know, that's an interesting selection, Boppy, because I remember seeing Parenthood when it came out in the theater, and I was a kid, and I thought it was hilarious. I laughed my butt off. I thought it was really funny. I do remember certain parts of it, but that would be interesting to revisit because I do have like a childhood connection to that one. Now I've seen Fire in the Sky, and it scared the shit out of me. That is a creepy ass movie, and it will, in my opinion, probably keep you up at night.
Okay, well that I'm not going to vote for that then.
Yeah, Fire in the Sky is one like I've
it's rough
on purpose.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Probes?
Yeah, exactly. It is extremely well rendered and well made, and to the effect.
Is it well lit?
Anything after Ben is.
Yeah. But let's see. But Death Becomes Her, I don't think I've ever watched it all the way through. I don't think I've ever seen it.
Gasp.
I've seen parts of it. I may have watched all of it at one time. I know I've seen parts of it, but because Goldie Hawn's like dead, right? She's like a zombie or something.
Yep.
Okay. I don't know. That's about all I remember from it. And like I remember bits and pieces. Maybe I watched the whole thing, maybe I didn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd be great. I would be cool with all of them. That's it. So it's tough for me to vote. I'm good with anything. I think I kind of defer to the community.
It's a community of 6, though, and like you're one of the 6. I mean, I don't know.
I would rather watch Death Becomes Her, but I'm kind of leaning towards Parenthood.
Yeah, I do feel that
because I feel like it could use. I know I'm gonna like Death Becomes Her.
Right, exactly. I feel like that is.
Yeah, you know, Parenthood would be the experiment, right? Parenthood would be the spirit of the show, and I think I go that way because it would be good for me because about the last time I saw it, I was younger, and I obviously thought it was really funny. You know, I wonder if it's still funny.
Yeah, I was disappointed because it wasn't the Steve Martin I wanted. Like,
but it's a real ensemble cast, and it's not.
It's a huge ensemble cast.
Yeah,
I'd
be curious to watch it again.
It's got everybody in it. It's got Martha Plimpton and Keanu Reeves as teenage lovers in it.
Wow, really?
It has a young Joaquin Phoenix who was still going by the name River Phoenix in it.
No,
it has Diane
those
Weiss.
are two different people.
Wait. I'm sorry.
Leaf.
Leaf. That's right. Sorry, Leaf.
Yes.
Leaf Phoenix. And it has Diane Weiss. It has Jason Robards. It has Steve Martin. It has
Diane Weiss does a joke bit with the vibrator. And I didn't really fully understand that the first time I saw it when I was a kid, but damn, the women in the audience absolutely howled at that one. Yeah.
So I think that's where I'm leaning.
Parenthood. Okay.
Parenthood.
I'll do Parenthood.
Parenthood.
Parenthood, man.
I thoroughly enjoyed Parenthood when I saw it in the theaters.
Mhm.
And honestly, yeah, it's not the Steve Martin that you think. This is the movie that he masters that slow burn at.
Mhm.
And it's a really good movie. And it's so my pick is actually Death Becomes Her because I know the movie Parenthood so well.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
I've only seen Death Becomes Her once, although I do remember Isabella Rossellini is in it, and she is woo hubba hubba.
Yes,
I
yes,
will
she
back
is.
you up on Death Becomes Her because
Yeah.
I'm more interested in rewatching it, but
Hmm.
I'm okay with that or Parenthood.
I'm okay with all three of them, but
Mhm.
I tend to lean toward Death Becomes Her just because it's the one that I haven't seen over and over again, the way I have Parenthood.
Hmm. If only Black Lives were here.
Yeah, come on. Who's here, man? Eraserhead?
Yeah.
Still there, dude? Where are you leaning towards, Wizard?
I told you.
He said
Parenthood.
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 Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I would
What ab-
rather watch Death Becomes Her because I know it better, but
Mm,
What about you, Jethro?
I'm still with Parenthood, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
you know, but for the same reason you said, actually, is because I do recall being fond of it. I have never revisited it. So you know, I believe that it's probably a good movie. You know, in fact, I kind of, like, I don't know, because I kind of suspect that maybe Death Becomes Her isn't as good as y'all are remembering it. You know, hard to say. Hard to say.
That's why I want to watch it
know,
because I do
yeah.
have feelings about Parenthood already.
Yeah, maybe we should watch Death Becomes Her now. Like, it's like, I'm like, I know that I saw it, and I feel like I was not that impressed by it. And I do remember definitely liking Parenthood. I think that's a movie that maybe we watched more than once, like we saw it in the theater for sure. But
I
maybe
saw it in the theaters, and then
yeah.
I watched it like every single time it was on HBO. Even if it was just a portion of it, I'd be like, okay, I'll watch this for a little while. So
Yeah.
Parenthood is the one that I know, and I do like that movie. It's not a belly laugh movie, but it is an all around good movie. It's got touching relevance. It's got frustration amongst family members. It's a good movie. And but so I know it very well. So yeah. I haven't watched it probably in about 10 years, but I do know the movie, and I have very fond memories of it, and I always liked it. So, but that's why I've only seen Death Becomes Her, I think, once, maybe twice. I saw it in the theaters, and then I think I saw it again, like on video when it came out, but that was it. So it's the one I know the least, but I do remember Isabella Rossellini because wow.
I'll never turn that down.
When I was
wow.
I would always confuse the Witches of Eastwick with Death.
Yeah.
No.
There's no comparison.
No.
Yeah. So I was just looking at the IMDb, so that was directed by Robert Zemeckis.
Yeah. It
And
was a real career maker for him.
Yeah. Now I am sure that I have seen that movie once, but I don't remember it well at all. I would be curious to watch it again for sure. And I would say that we have three really, that like if we pick one but not the other two now, we can definitely table one of these guys and get it on the next revolution,
Oh, for sure.
Parenthood was directed by Ron Howard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not realize that.
It was a huge hit.
Yeah, it was a big
Yeah, it was, well, from what I remember.
But is it still funny?
Little Opie Cunningham.
If I was a betting man, I would say that Parenthood isn't as funny as it was.
Oh.
I'm going to lean into that as well.
Yeah, I would too. Especially now that I'm a parent.
Which makes me more curious to see if Death Becomes Her, because I don't remember much of it at all.
Yeah.
I do remember the kid's birthday party scene in
Oh
Parenthood.
my God.
That was,
Yes.
that
Yes.
was pretty funny.
I don't remember that.
I still
so
think
well.
about
Yeah.
that from time to
He's-
time and just
He
giggle.
straps on like bath mats onto his legs to be fast.
You're not Cowboy Gil. You're Kevin's father.
Yeah.
You're Cowboy Dan. Yeah.
No, that's,
That
oh
whole-
yeah, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he wears
After
the
I
bathroom.
blow a hole in someone and slip around on their guts, I like to make balloon animals is like
Yeah.
just such an amazing combination of words.
Yeah.
And the way he delivers it with such like coolness is so, oh my God, it's so funny.
Yeah, it is a good movie. But I do know it really well. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's why I would probably go with Death Becomes Her, because I know I've seen it, but I know I haven't seen it nearly as often as I have Parenthood.
Yeah.
All right. Well, where are we at, folks? I think I'm gonna go to Death Becomes Her now.
Seconded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I was just looking.
I'm
at
down.
The
I'm down with Death Becomes Her.
Yeah,
All right,
sounds great.
Let's switch
let's
it.
do that.
Okay.
We're gonna do it.
Halloween is still on.
Yeah, that's
right.
right.
This will
Still
definitely be more of a
Halloween.
horror movie than Ben.
Yeah.
I say roll with it. It's
Parenthood
the right
might
time
be
of
the
year.
one to watch around Thanksgiving time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, great. I'm excited.
I think we
I-
spent more time talking about that than we did Ben.
Thank
I-
God.
I don't like. Yeah.
Rightly so.
Yeah. I really don't remember much about this movie. So that's going to be fun. All right. Death Becomes Her in 2 weeks. Looking
Ta-da!
forward to it.
Yay.
And does anyone else have anything they want to talk about or plug or unplug before we head out?
Ooh.
Well, we've got B-sides on Friday.
Mhm.
B-sides Friday, Noir
It's-
Vember continues.
Yes, Noir Vember, and
We
we watched Hell's Half Acre before, right? That was a
No.
repeat. No,
No, we scrambled, we scoured. We thought we had
Mhm.
watched it before. We both did.
Yeah.
But there was no evidence on the hard drives that we ever did that live.
interesting.
Yeah, and there are
Because
some
I
deleted
remember the
streams.
beach. I remember the beachcomber.
Don
Yeah,
the Beachcomber, yeah.
down the beach.
It's weird because if we had, first of all, Jay Goodwin would have jumped down our throats and said, "We watch this already." But like, we don't even have a thumbnail for a stream for that show,
Mhm.
so it clearly
Gotcha.
didn't happen.
Yeah,
Um,
interesting.
We all had that weird Mandela effect that we thought we did it, but we had not. So this week is Inner Sanctum, which is another lesser known movie, but one that we love very much.
Is not Lon Chaney Jr., right? Or
No, I don't think so.
All right, okay.
I would have to look at
It is a weird.
very psychological.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It is a weird kind of.
Noir.
Yeah, I mean, there's
It's been tough picking noir movies because some of them are too good to riff on. And we had that
Right.
discussion about
Yeah.
Hell's Half Acre because it's not
Yeah.
a bad movie by any stretch,
Yeah.
but it has enough flaws that you can stick your finger in.
this one. There's a weird twist ending, and I won't give it away, but
Please
Yeah.
don't. No.
there's a weird twist movie ending to it.
So Friday is Inner Sanctum, and then we are going to do DOA next week with the Eclectic Ghost.
Oh,
And
okay,
then
cool.
We have an opening because there's a fifth Friday in November, and we still don't have a 5th film yet. So if anyone wants to nominate a public domain noir movie, now's your chance. Otherwise, we'll just get something out of the library.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I have coming up. I don't know if Adam has anything else coming up.
I have nothing else scheduled. I will be on Sammy's new show at some point, but I'm not scheduled yet.
Oh, well, yeah, there you have it. Every Friday, watch B-Sides. Every Tuesday, watch The Gear Wizard.
Yay!
Hooray!
And
last night we did Half Baked.
Yeah.
Ah,
nice.
cool.
Break and did a movie.
Nice.
How wonderfully appropriate for you.
Oh, but of course.
Right.
Yeah, we're going to try to do maybe one a month.
Oh, that's cool.
Revisit a stoner flick.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, those are, I don't know why, but so often you don't remember them quite so well.
I just woke up in a bunch of junk food wrappers. And
What's the channel name?
Gear Wizard TV.
Put it in the chat.
That's what I'm gonna do.
I don't think I'm subscribed. Shame on me.
I am now.
Well, if you decide to do
you also know how the show opens too.
Yeah, no spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to do Reefer Madness or one of the old Marijuana Panic movies, most of them are public domain. I'll jump on for that.
That would
yeah,
be
I would
fun.
love that one.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough,
we could
I
do
hate
those live.
weirdly enough, I don't like colorization for films, but I weirdly love the colorized version of Reefer Madness. It is so weird.
It adds.
Yeah, it adds to it, which
all the
most
purples,
colorization is just distracting. Yeah, the
but
colored
there's
smoke is great.
the different colored smoke is fantastic.
Nice.
Jeff,
Yeah.
didn't we see Reefer Madness at a marathon like decades ago?
I think they did actually show it.
Yeah, I think it's the only time I've ever seen it. Yeah.
You know, they often show the trailer for it, but I'm pretty sure we've seen the whole thing in the theater before as well. So great movie.
Yeah,
that guy loves playing the piano. Boy, I tell you. All right, well, we're gonna go ahead and shut off the stream here unless anyone has it. What were you gonna say, Wizard?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
Let's call it a night.
All right, we're gonna call it a night. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Thank you to the panelists and everyone and everything, and have a good night. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.
Adios.
Bye.